I'm going to recap the Division One men's tennis NCAA tournament for the first and second rounds. I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff, and it's not going to go like who won doubles, who won what happened in singles. Y'all can check out the individual websites for that. And I'm going to start with the Wake Forest side of the bracket and go all the way down. Then I'll go to the Texas side of the bracket and go all the way down. So the one seed Wake Forest defeated Gardner Webb 4-1, and Kentucky beat Old Dominion 4-0, and Wake Forest actually won the match 4-1. Now the 16th seed Texas A&M did defeat Rice, but they were pushed 4-2, and Baylor beat Nebraska 4-1, and Texas A&M won 4-3. The 9th seed NC State defeated South Carolina State 4-0. And Georgia defeated UNC Wilmington 4-0, and NC State did defeat Georgia 4-1. Now, 8th seed Columbia beat Binghamton, Binghamton. I apologize if I butchered that. 4-0, and Clemson beat Quinnipiac 4-0, and Columbia beat Clemson 4-2. The 5 seed Ohio State defeated Buffalo 4-0. Auburn defeated Belmont 4-0. And Ohio State won 4-1 over Auburn. Now the 12 seed Mississippi State beat New Orleans 4-0. Michigan State defeated North Alabama 4-0. And actually Mississippi State defeated Michigan State 4-0. So it was supposed to be a really good year for Michigan State. That was not the case. So they underachieved. I'm just saying because of all the preseason stuff. Now the 13th seed South Carolina defeated VCU 4-0. Florida State defeated Sanford, not Stanford, Samford 4-0. And South Carolina did win against Florida State 4-3, and South Carolina is really tough at home. Now, the 4th seed Stanford beat New Mexico 4-0, Pepperdine beat Alabama 4-3, and Stanford won the match 4-0. Now, the 3 seed Texas defeated Montana 4-0, Cornell beat Michigan 4-0. Michigan 4-0, and Texas did defeat Cornell 4-0. The 14th seed Tennessee defeated Alabama State 4-0. Duke defeated Middle Tennessee State 4-0. And Tennessee came back to beat Duke 4-3. And what's crazy is Duke had chances to put that match away, including the court one. He was up 5-0 in the third. Yeah, he lost 7 straight games. Insane. Now, the 11th seed California defeated Boise State 4-1. UCLA beat UC Santa Barbara as in UCSB 4-0. And UCLA won 4-3. Actually 4-2, but still. This was one of the ones that I circled as a potential upset because of how UCLA's been playing. Now, the 6th seed San Diego defeated UC Irvine 4-2, so they were pushed. And USC, as the University of Southern California, beat Arizona State 4-0. And there was a weather delay, and I would have done it yesterday, but the delay was so long. It's like I have to wait till the morning to do this recap. So that's why I'm doing it now and not yesterday. Just a heads up there. But after that delay, USC won 4-2 over San Diego. And that has to be rough, because San Diego would have been hosted next week. Now the 7th seed Virginia beat Bucknell 4-0. Princeton defeat St. John's in New York, of course, 4-0. And Virginia beat Princeton 4-0. Now the 10th seed Arizona did defeat Denver 4-0. Harvard actually beat Washington 4-0, and Arizona won over Harvard 4-0. The 15 seed UCF got revenge against Miami, Florida from the earlier meeting and won 4-1. And Florida defeated USF, as in South Florida, 4-1. And UCF did defeat Florida 4-1. Now, the 2 seed TCU beat Abilene Christian University 4-0. Oklahoma beat Illinois 4-0. And TCU actually had Pedro Vivas in around the 32 for doubles, but not singles. And TCU was still pushed by Oklahoma, but they still won 4-2. So all these times listed here are in Eastern, just so y'all know. And I'm going to go over like when are those Sweet 16 matchups and who's hosting. Obviously, the 1 seed Wake Forest is hosting the 16 seed Texas A&M May 9th at 5 p.m. And I'm going to call it the way it is. Wake Forest is going to win that match. I knew whoever won against Baylor, I'm going to say whoever won against Baylor and Texas A&M and around the 32 was probably not going to win against Wake Forest at Wake Forest. And I know for a fact that Texas A&M's been down J.C. Roddick for a while now. So, I'm just saying. Now, the 8th seed Columbia is hosting the 9th seed NC State. They actually played each other earlier this year, and Columbia did win. And they'll be on May 10th at 1 p.m. Now, the 5 seed Ohio State will host the 12th seed Mississippi State on May 10th at noon. And this is not the same Ohio State team compared to the past. And in fact, yesterday, they didn't have Will Jansen in the singles lineup, I believe. So that's something to monitor there. And that's not the same Ohio State teams compared to the past. They're not as good in doubles. Maybe it catches up to them here. Maybe. Now, the 4 seed Stanford is going to host the 13 seed South Carolina on May 9th at 3 p.m. South Carolina is not the same team as on the road. Oh, that is when compared to home. Just so y'all know. The 3 seed Texas will have their third matchup with Tennessee this year. And it'll be May 10th at 2 p.m. Yeah, and I know Texas lost the first one in the SEC regular season, but they were down 3 guys in the lineup. They actually played each other in the SEC tournament, and Texas did defeat defeat Tennessee despite being down one guy in singles. So yeah, that's just to let you know about that situation. Right there, what's happened. Now, obviously, UCLA and USC are unseeded teams, so who's going to get the host? It's UCLA, but either way, that's next to nothing in terms of travel. They're both in Los Angeles. I mean, just different parts, of course, but my point is, it's different than being at home than going on the road. Though it's not that much of a travel, I know. And UCLA did have the higher ranking at the end of the year when compared to USC. And what's crazy is, I did my research before this, USC actually beat UCLA twice this year. However, UCLA's on the tear right now. So, and it'll be on May 9th at 5 p.m. Now, the 7th seed Virginia will host the 10th seed Arizona, but this is a dangerous matchup for Virginia for multiple of reasons. Arizona's top 2, they're really tough to beat. Of course, their number 5 is really good this year as well. I mean, in terms of record. So if you do lose doubles, you might go down 3-0 in the dual match, and all they have to do is just find one more. So this is possibly an upset here. Besides like the 9 over the 8. This one seems upset worthy. The same thing goes kind of for like UCLA and USC and all this. So the Big Ten is already guaranteed to have one team. It's more like Can Ohio State beat Mississippi State? In my opinion. Now the last one is an all Big 12 one. The 2-seed TCU is hosting the 15-seed UCF. I will say both of these teams split this year when you look at it. And the last meeting was in the Big 12 tournament semifinals where UCF actually won 4-3. Granted, I know Pedro Vivas did not play in singles and doubles. I know he didn't. And I also know that Cooper Wistendijk did not play in that match due to sickness. He's healthier now, but even if he is back, I would not sleep on this UCF team. This UCF team beat Ohio State this year. They beat Arizona twice in the regular season prior to the conference tournament. So, and I get that Jack Pinton-Jones did roll his ankle the day before, but he's got more rest now. So my point is, this is a sneaky good match right there. And the last time, the first regular season meeting, UCF only lost 4-2. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. So the Big 12 is definitely going to get at least one Elite Eight team. It's more like, can Arizona win their match? That's the biggest question to me. Obviously, there's going to be, it's SEC versus SEC for Texas and Tennessee. They're already guaranteed one. I would think Wake Forest represents for the ACC. Now, Columbia and NC State's a toss-up. So it's like Ivy League versus ACC. Then Ohio State, Mississippi State's a Big Ten versus SEC. And Stanford's ACC versus SEC. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. And hopefully there are no weather delays for those teams with no indoor courts, aka UCLA right here. I mean, and I know TCU actually does have indoor courts, by the way, but there's not a lot of courts. So still, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. And other thing to note about that Texas match, that was at Tennessee. Now it's in Austin, so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens from here. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe button. See you guys later. On the road to 800 subscribers, of course, ultimate goal. It's 1,000 or more. So remember, this course, like video, comment video really helps YouTube algorithm. Some more people see it. Sharing the video does help as well. Some more people could watch. And if you're watching and not subscribe, hit subscribe buttons for the notification bell as well.